Hey everyone, welcome to Get Found, Get Clicks, and Get Clients. This is going to be all about mastering your Google business profile specifically for real estate agents. So strap in for the next 30 minutes. I'm going to show you guys how to set up and then optimize and turn your Google business profile into a lead machine. This is going to be very fast paced and it's designed to give you guys the most important takeaways that you can act on today. So get ready to take some notes. Now, for everyone that does not know me, my name is Dustin Olson, aka Coach DO. A very quick intro about myself. I'm a fifth generation real estate professional on both sides of the family, done well over 700 transactions in both residential and commercial. I'm still investing myself, so let me know if you got any good deals. But I'm also a second generation business coach. I've been in the industry for over 20 years and I've coached thousands of agents to success. And I will never stop coaching because I've found my calling and I absolutely love it. Now, before we start, a tiny little disclaimer. Any of this information that I'm about to give you guys, it's a general resource. It's not intended to be any sort of legal advice or even 100% accurate. Google changes all of the time. As of today, this course is up to date, but by the time you're potentially watching this, it may be outdated. Here's a quick roadmap that we're going to cover. We'll cover having a Google business profile and why it's not optional anymore. You guys absolutely need it. Then we're going to cover how to do a step-by-step setup, how to boost your SEO, that's your search engine optimization. Then we're going to teach you how to collect powerful reviews, not just any reviews, and actually keep them, which is a key issue with Google. And most importantly, how to turn all of that into actual real estate leads and referrals. Then we'll cover some of the common pitfalls that are out here and what to watch out for. But keep in mind, there is a free resource at the end if you guys need more help. Why is a Google business profile so important? Look, guys, I'm not going to bore you with a whole bunch of stats. Like, you guys clearly understand that the internet is here to stay. 95% of the people searching for houses or looking to buy them, it's going to be all online. Here's a simple question I want you to ask yourself. What's the first thing that you do when you're looking for a service like a plumber or an electrician? You Google it. And guess what? So do your clients. So if you're not showing up when people search top agent in your city, you're losing deals without even knowing it. I can promise you people are sitting there in their kitchen Googling realtors near me in their freaking bunny slippers. And when you don't show up at that moment as the trusted professional, somebody else is grabbing that business. In this industry, you cannot be a secret agent. So let's fix that problem. What is a Google business profile? For those of you that don't know, or some of you, potentially young enough to not remember what the yellow pages are, but it's literally like the yellow pages on steroids, and it's free. It's going to be listing everything about your business, including your location, your phone number, your business hours, business description, your services that you provide, your service areas, very important, your website, social media channels, posts, events, updates. It's going to have photos, videos, yes, even video. And then appointment scheduling, which is fairly new, but most importantly, it's going to have your client reviews. Look, what we're going to teach you today is you can generate leads for free just by setting this up, or you can actually go in after you do this and you can do Google ads, you can do local service ads if they allow it into your area. But I cover this in other presentations more in depth. But these local service ads, keep in mind, they are kind of like those come list me leads. So if that's something you're interested in, I would look into it, see what your competition is. It's separate from your Google business profile, but you do need to set this up first. If you have a Google account, you can create one, or you can sign in to create or claim your business. So that would mean you're going to need a new Gmail, everything else like that. If you guys look to the bottom left, this is where it's already a verified business. And if you look to the right, that's where you need to claim your business. So figure out what you need to do if you've got to, sign in or create or claim or anything else like that. Now, this is going to be for everybody, even if you don't have a Google business profile. It's about to get very in-depth in a few minutes. So again, if you already have a profile, pay attention, because everything that's going to be covered You may need to audit your profile to make sure nothing's missing or to make sure that we get better SEO and you're driving in more leads. One caveat: do not trust most of those videos or the gurus or anything else like that. If it has like 1,000 or 1,000,000 views, it's probably already outdated. Even this presentation that I'm doing has to be updated very frequently. What I would suggest is that you only use the links from the Google support sites if you have any questions. Even from this one, always default to the Google support sites. Here's a big warning, like a huge warning. If you are already verified, and I promise you, some of you guys are going to go through this, you're going to be like, oh my God, it's because you didn't listen to this part. If you are already verified, changing your business name, changing your address, changing your phone number, changing your website info, if you do it too fast, you're going to get suspended or re-verified, especially if you do it all at once. So if you do this, I would suggest making the edits slowly. So go through this whole presentation and then find the edits you want to make, but only do one every week or maybe every 2 weeks. These Google filters are extremely sensitive. One thing is that 95% of the time, one rules them all. You change your address, you're going to get flagged. Okay. So if you move, do not change your address. You would turn it off and go into a service-based business. I'm going to teach you why and why we need to do that and all the other fun stuff a little bit later. But do not change your address at all costs. You're almost automatically going to go into a re-verification or a suspension. We're going to run through the initial setup. For those of you guys that already have a profile, please pay attention though, take some notes. Make sure you include your full name. You're going to see it says Dustin Randall Olson -realtor. So you can do your full name, comma realtor, dash realtor, whatever it is. Don't put the vertical bars. It hates that. I don't know why. But realtor is in more than 80% of searches. Whether you're a sales representative, a broker, or anything like that, it's always going to be realtor. So if you're not part of NAR, good reason to be that. So then you can legally use it. But everybody as a consumer thinks all of us, whether it's residential or commercial, we're all realtors. And it's easier to spell and it's shorter and people are lazy. So make sure full name or full business name and realtor. If you have an LLC, you have a corporation, you have a PREC, you must show it exactly how it shows up onto your company name. This is going to be coming back later in verification. It just makes your life a lot easier. Leave out the fluff words is what they call them, like homes or top or best or your city. Unless those words are part of your legally registered business name or your name, Dustin Nashville, most likely not. Okay, leave them out. Google looks at it as spam. This is your business name. So a caveat here, if you put like Dustin Randall Olson, best realtor, NAR is also going to flag you. Those are NAR rules. You can't put any adjectives along with realtor. That's a registered trademark. So don't put best realtor, top realtor, or anything. You can get away with realtor, but don't put anything else like that. The most important thing is don't put your brokerage name in there. Almost all of you guys do that. They are running right now, and Google is flagging a whole bunch of accounts that have their brokerage name in there. Unless you own that brokerage, it's not your business. Okay? You could put a team if that's your registered team or something like that. But your registered brokerage that you are under would go into your description. That way it still falls into, complying with all the registrations and rules of your boards and all this other stuff in your state. But put that in the description. It doesn't go in your title. That's not you. Plus, your clients don't really care what brokerage you're with. If I told them that, hey, Dustin, you switched to I didn't even know what brokerage you were with in the first place. Your clients follow you. They don't follow brokerages. So leave the brokerage name off on the top, put it in the description. Okay. Now, this is all about location. This is very big for some of you guys because you already have an address in there. If it's already verified, leave it. Okay. But customers do not visit you at your location, especially if you're a cloud-based brokerage. So your service business that covers a region is very important. If you put an address in there, it's going to narrow your location to a specific little point. And now, instead of having a huge 2-hour search radius around where you really are, now you narrowed it down to this little teeny tiny address. And sometimes it's, a couple cities away. So Start with your own address if you really want, but I would always mark it here to say, hey, customers don't come to my address. And then it'll put you into a service-based business and you don't actually have to use an address. Once you do this, then we'll start with our major locations or your major, target markets. And then we expand more, 20 of them within a 2-hour radius. But again, if you already have one, this is where you would change your account to a service-based business. Say, hey, clients do not meet me at my office or my store, instead of changing the address. Remember, you change that address, you're going to get flagged. So if you move to another state, don't change your address, just turn it into a service-based business and show where your service is. If you're already verified, don't mess with it. They already verified your business. This is a pretty obvious one, guys, like your phone and website. The only thing I have to say about your website, if you have multiple businesses and you have multiple websites, Google runs the internet, right? So if you have multiple phone numbers, like you have a staging company and a staging website, and you have your real estate company or business and your real estate phone number, if they're the same phone number, you're going to get flagged. You need a separate phone number and email for each one. So just keep that in mind when you're putting phone numbers in here. Make sure it's dedicated to your real estate business. Verification, very important here, especially if you're new. Do not enter the address if you want to move forward. There's a little verify later button into there, and sometimes you skip the verification altogether. Traditionally, Google was sending you a code via text, via call, sometimes via email. And, when I was doing it, it was a postcard, if that's dating myself. But nowadays, they're asking you to jump onto a video to actually verify your entire business. But you can do that at a later time. So if you really want to just set it all up in the beginning, I would suggest clicking that little button that says verify later, and you don't have to put in an address. If you are putting in an address and you want to go through this, use your own personal home and use your own personal email. Don't use your brokerage's email. Don't use your brokerage's address. The problem is that now your profile is attached to the brokerage, or your email is attached to the brokerage. And if you ever change that, or you realize that your clients don't follow your brokerage, they follow you, now all of a sudden you're going to get flagged. If you're a service-based business and you go and they ask you for verification, like let's say your tax documents, your LLC, all of it's coming to your address at your home, that's fine. Put it in there and just say you're a service-based, because it won't go public and show your home address. Some of you guys are worried about that. I could care less. I'll show you exactly where I live. But some of you guys really don't want that. But if you're a service-based business, it hides it. But if it's easier for verification, and plus you own it, you live there, I would always put your home address. Now, for all you sneaky ones out there, you're going to go, I'm just going to get a P.O. box. I'm just going to do a virtual address. Google knows. So don't do any P.O. boxes. Don't do any postal boxes, UPS, anything like that, or do any virtual addresses. They know you're being sneaky and you're going to get flagged and you won't get verified. Services are very important. You can list so many services, like endless. I think I have hundreds listed on mine. Okay, maybe it's like residential or commercial or leasing or first-time home buyers, luxury, farm, probate, divorce. Whatever your niche or your services is, you can list them here. This is a great time to utilize AI and ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, what are my real estate services? Tell them about your business and have them optimize it for search engine optimization, SEO, and it'll give you a whole list of services that you can be doing on there. Google Business Profile gives you a whole bunch that you can actually automatically choose. They're automatically populated, but you can put in a whole bunch just yourself by typing them. So the list can be endless. Just make sure you're doing this honestly and ethically. A pro tip, what you can do is you can actually have on your website, list all your services on a separate page. And guess what Google does? It scans that. So if that matches what's exactly what you're saying into these services, you rank up as well. So having everything congruent and matching is another way to actually utilize this better. Business out. I didn't realize. So this slide says that I don't work, right? I'm closed every single day. But most of us in real estate, we realize that any day of the week that ends in Y, we're probably working, which means weekends and occasionally holiday. So if that is you, I want you to be honest about how much you actually do work. Okay. So when somebody goes in there and you put the Google business hours for your for your business is 24 hours, Google knows that human beings have to sleep at some point, and they flag you. And they say, oh, it's a 24-hour business. Is it? It's a 7-Eleven? Great. But if you have an answering service, you should put that. This is pretty prominent too. If you're doing Google ads or Google local service ads, they're going to really flag you for this one, because if you're not answering the phone or people are dropping off, then they start to rank you a lot lower. So just be realistic from when you're working. Maybe it's like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Monday through Friday, or maybe you're actually working on the weekends. Just make sure it matches to what you're actually capable of doing. If you're running a big team and you got somebody coming in there in an LSA or something running 24-hour service, put it in there. But not recommended to do 24 hours. Your business description. This is where you put your brokerage name for sure. But this is also a really good place to do some SEO when people are searching. Do not use websites like URLs or HTML codes in there. You're going to get kicked out, or it'll just flag you or block you out. I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why, but just don't do it. Make sure that you include relevant information that your clients are going to be searching for. So maybe it's like your service area that would go into here, your city instead of your name. Maybe it's good to know information, content that drives the interest of your clients. Maybe it's like your niche services. Maybe you do luxury, maybe you do REO, maybe you service veterans or your first time home buyers. That all goes into here. And again, this is where you would mention your brokerage. Don't mention in your business name. I promise you, they're coming through and they're ripping out even current business profiles and taking that away. Great place to utilize ChatGPT. Have it ask you a whole bunch of questions about what your business for real estate is like, and say, hey, can you give me a Google business profile description? Make sure you include this and this and this. This is what I really focus on, or go to my services page and blah, 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 blah. But another way we can utilize AI to make sure that your SEO is really set up here, but a very, very important setup that most people even ignore. Photos. So adding photos here, you should at least do it once a month, if not once a week. But this is so you can get better viewership. It really, really likes photos. So make sure it's of yourself. Make sure it's of somebody that just sold a property. Maybe it's a just listed. Make sure it's you doing business and showing that. But another key point is when you put these photos in here, make sure the title of your photos has some sort of geo tag or some sort of SEO, search engine optimization for it. So if that photo is taken in Franklin, Tennessee, title it Franklin, Tennessee, just sold, and put a date in there. Google likes to see those things. And remember, when you upload it, it also sees the title of whatever imaging you're putting in there. So it's another way to kind of double dip rather than just a photo. Word to wise. Number one, don't put on anything appropriate. But number two, any photos that you have, if they're stock photos, Google knows. Okay, they're the keys to the kingdom. They rule it all. You may have violated rights or copyrights or something like that. And again, you get flagged or you get banned for life. It's not fun at all. And it's very hard to get these back. So don't use any stock imagery. Make sure they're your photos. All right. Ta-da! You're finished. So once you get verified and it's active, this is what you're going to see. So if you went to, business.google.com, it's going to pull up this whole beautiful dashboard for you. Now, I know that was really fast. So if some of you guys actually have some questions, again, there's going to be a resource at the end of this. But this dashboard, by the way, is really cool because it's the easiest way to navigate around your profile. You're going to see a whole bunch of stuff, read reviews, edit profile, products. That's something we stay away from, but I'll tell you that in a second. Q&A is pretty important. Your performance, by the way, is not going to show up until you've actually had this on for a few weeks. So if you're clicking on it, you're like, oh my gosh, nothing's showing up. It's because you don't have any data, no traffic or anything else like that. The one that you want to pay attention to at the most, and I'll cover this at the very end, is that ask for a review button. This is the one that you're going to utilize pretty much the most because it'll give you a whole bunch of different ways that you can get people to ask for reviews. And it helps you guys show up probably the most important thing about search engine optimization. Here's a little joke for you guys who like to be funny, but where's the best place to hide a body? Second page of the Google search results. Yep. Nobody goes there. So less than 1% of Google searches go to the second page. So if you don't want to get stuck in the rat trap of 99% of them all, you need to be showing up in what they call the top fold. And the top fold means that half of those people that are on that first page, they're not even coming down to scroll down to see what else you got. Human beings are that instant gratification these days. So I want to make sure that you guys show up. And this is how we're actually going to do it. How do I rank higher, right? And get a pen, paper, make sure you take note of this. There's 3 core ranking factors that Google is going to look at. Number 1, it's going to be relevance. That means how well you're actually matching what people are searching for. Number 2, distance. What's the proximity of you to the person searching? Again, why we want to have a service-based business, because we can be 2 hours away instead of this little pinpoint from where they're searching, or where they're actually asking to search, or Nashville or Franklin or Seattle or Dallas. Then it's going to be prominence. This is going to be how well known you are, how well known your business is, or how well your business profile is set up. So hopefully we're going to get that and you set it up correctly from this presentation. Now, we're going to help you boost all of these via a properly set up account. What we really want to focus on next is going to be the frequent posts, the photos and videos that we're using, and also using that Q&A and getting reviews. A section on the Q&A, I'm not going to cover it further in here, but you need to ask yourself into that Q&A what the questions are that your clients are continually asking you, and put those in the answers. Because I can almost guarantee you they're actually searching them on Google as well. So what better way to have you show up into some of those results because you've answered that question, you know, what does this buy you in da-da-da-da-da? Pretty cool. So you can post just like a social media account. For those of you guys that actually have an account, I want you to ask yourself, when's the last time you actually made a post to your Google business profile rather than your social media? Most people aren't searching for houses on social media or doing any of that, but when they go to search, they're using Google. So why would you not come up on top? Why wouldn't you prioritize your posts on the Google business profile? So you can use this just like social media. Content ideas here are limitless. This is what keeps your This is what keeps your profile active, but also boosts you up to the top because it's relevant, it's timely, everything like that. And Google rewards that activity with higher visibility, period. Here's a good story for you guys. I had one of my coaching members. He didn't even have a Google business profile set up yet completely. He just got it brand new. Okay? No reviews whatsoever. And he's a newer agent, but he was doing an open house. And that Sunday, he posted an event on his Google business profile from 2 to 4. And you know what happened? Somebody from out of state ended up calling him, and he goes, how did you get my information? They're like, oh, you showed up first on the Google results when we searched, because that event got boosted above everybody. When they had hundreds of reviews, he boosted on top because he was having an event. And Google saw that as timely, a limited event. Hey, this is the guy to call because that's what they're searching in that area, and they're looking for houses in that area. Oh, he posted this event. So I promise you, posting can boost you up above those who you think, oh, I'm never gonna rank with that person. They have 150 reviews. They're the best agent in the area. But are they posting events and relevant information and photos and videos? I bet not. So you do have to put a little bit of work into it. But here's the thing: what can you post is the next question. So anything that's new, maybe it's market updates, maybe it's just listed. Maybe it's just sold. Maybe it's showcased, testimonials from your clients. Maybe we're just doing local happenings. You can do events. Maybe it's stuff to promote an event that either A, you're involved in, maybe you're attending, maybe you're hosting, maybe you're sponsoring, or it can be stuff just like open houses. It might be seminars or lunch and learns, maybe giveaways, charity events. Offers are another good thing to post onto here. Maybe it's a price reduction, a promotion, a discount, a sale that you're having. The one thing I want you guys to be careful of is the products these days. They have been flagging them. It's a brand new thing because some of you guys had it where, oh, I've got products because I've got a just listed or a just sold. It's a home. It's physical, right? No, they don't look at it that way. Or it's a PDF, or it's a guide, or it's a CMA or a report, or maybe it's a calculator. Nope, they don't look at it that way because you're service-based. So they're starting to flag you guys if you're saying that you offer products when we really don't offer products. So instead, when we're a service-based business, we can do, okay, the services we offer, I'm a real estate agent, pretty obvious one, or I'm a listing consultation, or I'm a buyer consultation. I do brokerage services. I do real estate searches. Ooh, now we're getting closer, right? I do real estate education. I do property analysis, just like your CMAs. So maybe you do relocation or staging. These are all kind of services. They're not necessarily, products, because yeah, you have handouts, PDFs, guys, or anything, but it's all attached to that service. So just make sure we're steering clear of the products tab. It's another good way to get launched because we are a service-based business. A few posting ideas, get a pen, write them down. These work really, really well when you are posting, because when people are searching, this will come up to the top. Another really good tip is this also, these that I'm about to give you work very well on YouTube, very well. But guess what the number 2 search engine is? It's YouTube. And guess who owns that? It's Google. But again, you want to set up your Google business profile first, and then I would suggest moving up the line there and set up your YouTube. But these work very well if you're not afraid of video, and YouTube as well. Here's some examples. Cost of living in your area or city in whatever year it is. Pros and cons of living in your area. What does X amount of dollars buy you in your area again? What to avoid in your area when buying a home. These are all really good marketing hooks. And then you can you run it through ChatGPT again or AI in order to give you a whole breakdown scenario of what you can be posting there. Every single post needs what they call a call to action, a CTA. Most of the time, you guys are going to be adding just a link. It's going to be on your website for your CTA. But there's standard buttons that you guys have to be aware of. It's going to be like learn more or sign up or call now. You should be adding one of these to every single CTA or every single post that you have that you're creating. Now, they're going to automatically link to your account. So make sure your website's yours. Make sure your phone number is correct. Your email or whatever scheduler or WhatsApp account or whatever it is linked directly the way that you want it to, because anything that's outside of your business, like if you put a phone number that's your secondary phone number or something, but it's not on your Google business profile, it's going to get the boot and it could flag your account. You put a different email, nope, flag. Anything that is not on your business profile, don't use it. Don't put it there. Use those actual call to action buttons. Just make sure when we do the initial setup that everything is linked correctly and you won't have any problems. Reviews. This is the creme de la creme. Massively important. The most important part of your Google business profile. This should not be overlooked whatsoever. This is how you win clients. Reviews are the new word of mouth. They're the new referral. It's social proof that other people recommend you. Plus, they boost your local SEO mojo like crazy from what anybody puts in there. There's 4 things that they're going to recognize in there. It's going to be the quantity of your reviews. It'll be the quality. So let's not go 5 stars. Yay, great. And nothing in there. Or, yeah, Dustin was great. Woo. Like, it's not going to cut it. So we got to have quality reviews. Then it's the frequency, how often you're getting them, but also if you actually respond to them. That way, Google knows your business is active, you're alive, and you're attentive to your clients. They like it when you take care of clients because their face is on this too. So one of the best times to actually ask for the reviews, and write this one down too, is when the deals go firm or when you've removed contingencies. By all means, the best time. Why? It's the happiest time during the transaction. Woof, it's done. We're almost to the finish line, but you're not there yet. So they still need you to complete the deal. They're still in contact with you. I mean, half of the agents we know out there, they kind of ghost their clients after the transaction's done. Well, what's to say that sometimes the clients don't ghost us? We're still connected. Best time to get that review is especially when we remove those contingencies or face-to-face when you've done it. And make sure you get both people on the transaction. Now, Getting reviews without begging. A little thing about begging, I think you actually can beg. You just got to do it very tactfully, because like what's easy to do is also easy not to do. And sometimes be like, oh yeah, I'll leave you a review later. It gets buried into their email. But what I've done before, I was like, hey man, this is so important to me, because they don't really know how important a Google review is. And you're like, hey, like I know I've sent it to you a couple times, like whatever I got to do, like I'll come over, I'll wash your car, I'll do your dishes, I'll go get groceries. Like, whoa, okay, I'll fill it out. You're like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. That means the world to me. But for most people, a Google review means nothing for them, and they don't necessarily get anything out of it. So I get it, no begging, but sometimes you got to exaggerate because they don't really necessarily know the importance of it. But an easy way is if you've already started stockpiling your reviews on another source, which is, it's fine, but like Google is going to rule them all. But if you've got a whole bunch of Zillow reviews, or you got Facebook reviews, you got Rank My Agent, which by the way, all show up into your Google business profile as how many numbers you got in there. So you can double dip, but you can get those guys to actually just repeat whatever review they already left you on those platforms and copy paste it into Google. That doesn't violate any policies. If you get people to copy paste the same review over and over and over, you will get blacklisted and you'll get shut down from whatever Google business profile you're trying to create. So very big warning there. You can do like a Mad Libs thing or something if you want, but a whole bunch of these you probably already have that you can go back and get them. And the magic thing is when you go to these past clients, you go, hey, you know, you left me a review. Do you mind copy pasting this into Google Business Profile for reviews? I'm building this up. It would be so amazing. You know what's funny, Dustin? I was actually just going to call you. Sure they were, but they magically have referrals for you. So a good way to actually double down and get some referrals when you're actually getting reviews. Now, if you have 10 reviews or less, you're in the hot seat. So it's a race to 10. One review can leave you guys, or bad review anyways, very devastated. All of a sudden you went from 5-star down to 3. Uh-oh. So it's that race to 10. And plus anybody over 10, you kind of look like you're at least a little bit credible. Once you get into the 20, people really find you as an active agent. Maybe they're pretty good. They're cream of the crop, right? You get into 50. I mean, they really look at you as a specialist. You get over 100 reviews, and now you're organically getting leads to call you all the time, quite frequently, actually, because you're pretty much one of the best in the area once you're above that 100 mark. Here's the one thing that I want you guys to always pay attention to. Write this one down. It's going to be tracking. I know you guys don't like it. I'm a coach. I love tracking, but you need to track all your reviews. Every single one of these reviews is like gold. And the problem is Google has an issue where I think they throw darts or they just drop silver. I don't know what the heck they do, but it's a very arbitrary system that they're going to go, no, that one violated policy and it's out. And for no, I literally had one that goes, Dustin is the best coach, and then violates policy. I'm like, what? I got it back, by the way, but still, it's like, I don't understand their method for doing this. I think it's just random. You're going to have them go missing. I've had 20 go missing. I've gotten 15 back. Some of them you won't, but if you don't guard them and track them, you're going to be in trouble. So screenshot it, find out what date, time, copy, paste it, the exact message. That way you can put in a ticket and say, hey, Google, this is a missing review. Can it please be reinstated? And then you're going to get the infamous, because we're not paid yet, going to be an automated system that goes, oh, by the way, check out all these different sites and maybe you violated policy and blah, 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 blah. It's going to give you a canned response and it's going to drive you nuts. And most of you guys are going to stop right there. The problem is you don't have to, because if you have proof that this didn't violate policy or anything else like that, what I'd want you guys to do after that is reply to that email that you get with the exact review that was left. This is why you got to document it with the case number. So good idea to document the case number, and you're going to write this down. It's the only way to get in touch with Google for these Google business profiles. Unless you're doing LSAs or Google ads, they give you phone numbers, they roll out the carpet, they give you emails because you're paying them. You're not paying them here. This is the only way to get in touch with them. So if you go to Google Business Profile -support at google.com and reply to that canned email they're going to give you to tell you, have you checked out these canned responses and how to fix this? Because most likely it's not a problem. But again, if you go to Google Business Profile -support at google.com, you usually 90% of the time get a live human being to respond back to you. And that's usually the only way where you go, hey, by the way, this review, it was flagged, but it doesn't violate any policy. Can it be reinstated? And an actual human being, rather than a dart or a monkey or whatever's looking at it, goes, oh, yeah, you're right. It just said he's a great coach or they're a great agent, and they reinstate it. But you're going to have them go missing. Wait till it happens to you. I promise you. You heard it here first. Type of deal. But record, because you guys work very, very hard for these, and every single one is worth gold. Again, write this down, take a screenshot, go as fast as you can. I hear all you guys all the time be like, well, I can't get to 20. I haven't done that many deals. I can get new agents that haven't even done any deals up to 20 to 30 reviews. And this is why. Anybody you work with can leave you a bad review, and people love to do it. Isn't that sad, right? I'd rather write a great review. But anybody that can leave you a review, including other agents, managing brokers, mortgage lenders, hopefully you got some of those, financial planners, graphic designers, inspectors, contractors, maintenance, plumbers, electricians, they can all leave you a good review, including real estate coaches. But we work with all these people, not just our clients. We're a service-based industry that has to be kind of a liaison with all these other services. So you lead the path, especially if they have a Google business profile. You go out and leave them a good review, because it's that law of reciprocity. Now, all of a sudden they go, oh, well, Dustin is so great. You talk so highly of me in business. Then you call me, hey, man, I just left you a review. Would you mind leaving me one? Like, such a pleasure to work with you. And now we can get into past that danger zone of 10 reviews. Now we get into the 20 to the 30. And you can do this all without even closing any deals. When you do close deals, one of the things I want you guys to remember is you got to get a review from both sides of the transaction. Both. So it's like not both sides, but both people on the transaction, all the decision makers. Because usually it's husband, wife, or at least two people. If it's just a single person, fine, you get one review. But we usually get one from the husband or the wife or whatever that the dynamic is these days, and boom, then we quit. Get it from both people. You're missing out on a whole bunch of reviews that's going to boost you up there so we can get some free leads. These are a couple examples of I love these guys to death, my heavy hitting clients that I've been coaching for years, sometimes 7, 8, 9 years into this. But what we want to do, it's not just really the review that's going to count. Remember, there's SEO into these reviews. Google is searching it the whole entire time. So the more that you can have your clients write a review, how you actually brought value to their experience, maybe you took away some risks, maybe you diminished some fears, overcame some objections, or you guided them towards a successful outcome. Remember, they're the hero and you're the guide. So get them to tell a story about how that transaction went, especially if it was a really crazy one or overpowering or a special one that you went above and beyond, especially there. Now, all of these should have a good call to action. Gabriel didn't really leave one there, but it's still a good review. But maybe it's something like, hire this person at all costs. Alex wrote onto there, he goes, hey, I'd hire Coach D anytime. Thank you, Alex. And you can repurpose these. So notice how that's not like, hey, Dustin, that's not a Google business review. You're right, because I repurposed that and I threw it on social media. You can take these reviews, repurpose them, put them on other platforms as well. Pro tip, I would highly encourage that you do that. Now, this is where I told you in your dashboard, that little tiny piece there to ask for review is your most important piece that you're going to be using all the time. This is where you can create a short link for reviews for your clients. You can send this via text. You can email it. You can throw it on WhatsApp. You can do it on Facebook. You can save that QR code directly to your phone. Highly recommended. So you can just go, hey, man, give me a review. But make sure it's easy for them to do. It's the platinum rule. Treat people how they want to be treated. So can I send this to you on an email, or maybe you put it in a bomb or a video or something and say, hey, it was such a pleasure working with you. Here's my short link for a review. Would love it if you got a 5-star review, blah, 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 blah. And then keep up on them and everything. One of the things I do ask, so that's actually my review link. So if you're on a desktop, you can scan that with your phone. So if you liked this presentation, please leave a review. You can also search on Google. You could go Coach D.O., Dustin Randall Olson, and it'll pull up my business website, and you can leave a review from there, especially if you're on a mobile phone. Now, This is the free resource. If you guys are really confused or you need help setting this up, or you've got a Google business profile and you're stuck or you're suspended or you're just not showing up on searches, let's fix it. Okay. You can always head to thecoachdo.com/contact and you can leave me a message. You can email me. It's not going to be in the slide, but you can email me at do@coachdo.com. I do ask you guys in the subject, you always put Google Help. For these sessions, they're going to be 20 minutes. I have very limited number of them. I coach tons of agents. I'm running a big EXP org. I have 3 daughters, a dog, 2 cats, and a lady that I love dearly that takes a lot of my time, but that's okay. But seriously, guys, if you guys are prepared for these, I can get more of them done and I can help you a lot more. They're pretty short. So if you do this, I want you guys to be prepared. I'll contact you. We'll figure out a time that works, but they're going to be on a desktop or a laptop where we can do a share screen, and I may have to take control of it so I can maneuver things around if it's causing you some issues. But I promise I'm always here to help. I get a sick thrill out of it. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. Okay. But again, I can only do a limited number of these a week. So if you do send that, get in there faster than anything because I may be booked out for a month or 2. And that is it for now anyways. But again, please reach out if I can help you do real estate better in any single way. There's a new book coming out. I'll tease that, but it's not there yet. And remember to always make good decisions out there. Much love, and I will see y'all on the next one.